On that first TV debate between Mitt Romney and Barack Obama?
Well, it's being called the Twitter election. So the initial reaction actually took place live as it was happening with what was the most tweeted event in US political history. So I want to turn first to some of the journalists and columnists actually tweeting at the time. Now, one of them is a New Zealand journalist, and her name is Rachel Smalley. And this was early on in the debate, and she's saying that, hey, Romney has clearly had loads of coaching. He's warm, engaging. Now, Obama, he looks like he's desperate for it to end, and this is the verdict that seems to be coming out. Also, tweeting was David Limbaugh. Now, he's a syndicated columnist in the States, and one point he made was, well, Obama's not doing well, but the fact-checkers are waiting in the wings, salivating. They are Obama's only hope now. They and the MSM, the mainstream media, will try to rehabilitate him.
Now, you mentioned fact-checking there, and that's something that the New York Times was doing.
Well, the New York Times is, of course, the mainstream media. If we're going to choose any mainstream media, it has to be the New York Times, which is one of the world's leading papers and websites. There you can see one of the negative headlines in the paper, no kind words for him. And also the general message for the NYT at the moment is this was a tangle on the economy that Romney edged ahead in. Now, the thing that struck me looking at the New York Times website is that it had the transcripts and the blogs, but it also had this incredible fact-checking thing. So blow by blow, there was a fact-check on whether it was Massachusetts school ranking or US imports or exports or education. All those things were just immediately fact-checked. Now, David Limbaugh made that point that this may be what plays out in the coming days, which is there's the initial body language and quips kind of reaction, but perhaps that fact-checking will actually emerge as well. Did they really get their points home? So.
What about some of the analysis then?
Well, the Politico, the magazine for the people on the Hill in Washington, has a headline saying that here partisan battle lines have been hardened with this debate. Still in Washington, the Washington Post is saying, yes, Romney goes on the offense, forcing Obama to offend. Now, in both those pieces by the Politico and the Washington Post, the word that stood out for me was Romney, energetic.
And there was a surprise appearance in that debate from Sesame Street character Big Bird.
Well, would you believe it?
What was he doing there?
Big Bird. He didn't kind of appear on set
Not
as
quite.
such, but he was there because Mitt Romney at one point said, yes, I will cut funding to PBS, which is public television. Now, public television doesn't have a great role in the States, but this has been picked up by all the media. Here you can see the story in the Daily Mail. Was Big Bird the debate's biggest winner? Now, of course, Big Bird is loved by everybody. Sesame Street is a hit, children's television hit for decades all over the planet. So the general drift in the press today and reactions is like, well, hey, you can't attack Big Bird. That's crazy. So the actual quote there from Mitt Romney in that debate was, I'm going to stop subsidies to PBS. I'm going to stop other things. I like PBS. I love Big Bird, but I'm not going to keep on spending money on things that we have to borrow money for from China. So, of course, Big Bird is not perhaps your best example. And if we look at the picture again, we can see the front of Big Bird's chest saying, oh, yes, I will work for food. The sort of character now is going to be perhaps talked a lot about in the press and the media.
I'm not surprised lots of people would come out and defend him. Thank you very much, Nicholas, for that look at the international papers. You're watching live from Paris. Coming up, it's a hard life on the catwalk. As Paris Fashion Week wraps up, models complain they're being squeezed by the economic downturn. We'll have more on that in business.